Hello. Today we're going to talk about stain removal in granite countertops. This is a granite countertop. It doesn't actually have a stain, but we're going to demonstrate what the process is for stain removal by using a poultice, a sheet of thin plastic, and some masking or painter's tape to attempt to lift the stain out of stone. If this area in the stone were stained, we would want to wipe up any excess liquids and get to the stain and start to treat and remove it as soon as possible before it has a chance to penetrate and set up in the stone. That being said, we're going to take a poultice, which is typically a white powder. You'd mix a little bit of water with it to get a toothpaste-like consistency to make a paste out of it. And then this paste we're going to apply directly to that stained area and leave it kind of thick. In other words, pile it up. The way this poultice works in terms of removing a stain is that the moisture from the poultice wicks up the staining agent into the poultice as it dries out. So for that, we want to give it as long a dwell time as possible and not letting it dry out too quickly by covering it up and taping down the edges of the plastic to keep that moisture in between the stone and the poultice for as long as possible, typically a day or two, to have the maximum capillary effect to wick that stain up out of the stone. So what we're going to do is surround the stain affected area, and we're going to tape it down to trap that moisture in there and then let it dry out. Over the span of a day or two, the moisture that's inside the paste is going to go down into the stone, pull up the stain, and you may have to repeat this process 2 or 3 times to effectively lift the stain out of the stone if the stain is going to be removable from the stone. Not all stains are removable. Think of it much like a sweater when you were to spill spaghetti sauce on it. If you get it right away before the stain has a chance to set up and rinse it thoroughly, there's a good chance the stain's not going to be permanent. On the other hand, if you let it sit in the hamper for a week, there's a good chance that stain's going to set up and be very difficult to remove. It's the same thing with stone. You want to get that stain as quickly as possible, and then you may have to wash this or wick that up with a poultice 2 or 3 times before you are truly effective at removing the stain. Mixing the poultice, piling it high, trapping the moisture, and then after a few days, this is going to dry out and turn directly into a powder again, and you're going to brush it away and repeat 2 or 3 times. After the 2nd, 3rd, 4th time, you may have reached the maximum limit of the effect you're going to get. The best way to deal with stains is to prevent them by using a good sealer and cleaning up spills right away. And remember that oily substances like the bottom of a pizza box can just ruin a countertop. If you stay on top of it, keep your countertops clean and sealed, you'll eliminate or minimize the possibility of getting a stain. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.